pursuit of well-being and health, the one thing that you cannot overlook is a good night's sleep. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today in this series. Our imperfect body is the importance of sleep and sleeping for longevity and just making sure you get sleep. Sleep is very, very overlooked by a lot of people, and it's going to end up causing them a lot of problems in the long run. In this thing right here, we're going to talk about the science of sleep. We're also going to talk about the healing powers of sleep, and then we're going to talk about strategies to enhance the quality of sleep so that you can get a good night's sleep. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's talk about the science of sleep. Sleep is broken down into what we call 3 different steps. Well, you actually could consider 4. So you got what we call light sleep, and then you got what we call deep sleep, and then you got what we call rapid eye movement or REM sleep. Those are like the deepest forms of sleep, and those should be broken down roughly about a third each. So you're spending, if you sleep 8 hours, you want to spend maybe 4 hours in light sleep, maybe 2 to 3 hours in deep sleep, and 2 to 3 hours in REM sleep. When you get a balanced sleep schedule like that, you're going to wake up more refreshed. You're going to have better mental clarity. Your body processes are going to function properly. You've seen people, and you've probably experienced this yourself, to where you've actually slept for 8 hours and still wake up tired and not really feeling rested. Well, that's because your body was in light sleep and something caused you to actually not get into deep sleep or REM sleep. Or have you ever had a power nap where you close your eyes for 20 or 30 minutes and you wake up and you felt like you slept for 4 or 5 hours, right? And you only slept for like 20 minutes. Well, you hit that deep sleep because you're sleep deprived and your body's craving it, so it will shut down and let you get that deep sleep. It's important because it lowers your heart rate. Your body can do all these processes to heal, which leads me into the healing powers of sleep, to where you're actually going to look at having a better immune function. You know, when you don't sleep properly, your immune system drops because your body's under stress because it's not getting what it needs to repair. The other thing you can look at too is you look at your heart health. Some of the people that may suffer from blood pressure issues or just heart health not functioning properly. And that's a simple fact that they're always in what they call a sympathetic dominant state. And their body's always in this fight or flight, right? They're constantly stressed out. That can throw your sleep off, and that can cause some heart issues in the long run. The third thing we're looking at that too is you've got people that have trouble losing weight. And when you actually do not sleep, it is impossible to lose weight because you have such high levels of cortisol floating through your bloodstream, and that can throw your body off. Next thing you're looking at too is mental well-being, mental clarity. You're looking at people that are easily agitated, irritated, all these different things. Their mental well-being is being taxed because they are not getting enough sleep. That will help with that if you sleep properly. And then you got chronic disease prevention. Chronic disease prevention is key because consistent sleep can actually help you to actually prevent from getting a lot of these chronic diseases that may be ailing you and your family or be around the corner if you don't take care of yourself. So those are some of the healing benefits. So the question may be is, how do I get a good night's sleep? Well, let's look at this. One of the things you could do to start by getting a good night's sleep tonight is establish a sleep routine. That means that you got a routine of stuff that you do, that you go to bed at the same time, or you start prepping yourself maybe an hour or 2 before you go to sleep, and you're actually consistent with it. You're not changing your patterns to the point where you're going to sleep at 9 o'clock one night, and then you're going to sleep at 11 o'clock the next night, then you're going to sleep at 10 o'clock one night. You're going to bed at the same time. That consistency is key with establishing that sleep routine. Now, once you create a sleep routine, now that may be taking a hot shower along with that to actually calm your body down, or taking a bath before you get ready for bed is a good way of preparing for it. Second thing you can do is you can actually create a sleep environment. Now, what do I mean by creating a sleep environment? Well, it's very simple. You want to make sure your temperature is usually less than 70 degrees. Ideally, they say the ideal temperature to sleep in is 68 degrees. I've saw some research say. One of the things you want to say that research is also saying too with creating a sleep environment is you want to get blackout curtains. You want to make sure that your room is completely dark to where you literally can barely see the hand in front of your face. That's a perfect way to do it. One of the things too is you want to sleep with light clothing on. You want to sleep with heavy, thick pajamas and socks on, unless you just don't have any heat. Well, hopefully we all have heat, right? But you want to make sure that you actually sleep very light, and you want to make sure that you're not in a position where you get hot at night. You might break out in sweat. That could disrupt some people's sleep and cause them not to go back to sleep at all. So creating that perfect sleep-inducing environment will actually help you to get sleep. The third thing is you want to limit your light exposure. So this goes out to all my people that look at their phone before they go to sleep. This goes out to all my people that fall asleep with the TV on. Well, I get some people that say, Doc, I fall asleep with the TV on because I live by myself or all this stuff and it helps me. That's fine, but you want to limit that light exposure. Even though you know mentally you want to go to sleep, but somehow light comes into the eyes and it tricks the brain to thinking that we can actually lower some of that serotonin level or melatonin levels and actually cause us to think it's daylight outside. There's a certain thing called circadian rhythm. So when the sun is up, we're supposed to be up, and when it's light outside. And when the sun is down and it's dark outside, we're supposed to be down. So if we get more in tune with nature, we're actually going to be able to create a very, very healthy sleep routine and a very even sleep pattern. People say, well, how do you do that in a busy world? Well, you just try to make the best of the way you can. I'm not saying you got to go to bed at 7 o'clock or 8:30, but you want to go to bed as early as you can so that you can actually get the right amount of sleep. And then it's just a process. You can't expect to be sleeping full 8 hours the first time you start out with deep sleep. It's just a process of things, and your body has to adapt to the changes you're making so that you can get that sleep. Now, this one right here is the one of the last things I want to say too, is you want to be mindful of what you eat at the time you eat before you go to sleep. Research said people get the best sleep when they cut their sleep off 3 hours before they go to bed. Or you don't drink alcohol at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. Because of the simple fact that with eating, your body, your digestive system is working so hard to break the food down that could disrupt your sleep. The other common thing that I see a lot too is people eating too many carbs or too much heavy stuff, and then their body, it causes their blood sugar to spike 2 to 3 hours after they go to sleep, and that will wake them up, and then they'll wake up, it's like, man, I don't know why I can't go back to sleep. But that's because your sugar to spike, or it's going to cause that digestive system to overreact, and that can disrupt your sleep. Drinking alcohol before you go to sleep, the worst thing you can do, you might sleep hard for the first couple of hours, but then you're going to wake up because it's going to throw your body off. And then one of the things you can do too is you want to practice different kind of relaxation techniques, which I call my nightly rituals. I do some deep breathing, maybe some light stretching to kind of loosen up tight muscles, and then just actually try to read right before I go to sleep. And once you do that, that would actually cause you to actually put your body into more of a parasympathetic state, and it sets the stage for a good night's sleep. So embracing the power of sleep is a commitment to your health, and prioritizing sleep and your resting body. That's when they're actually going to see the biggest gains and the biggest results in whatever you're trying to do. Mental clarity, losing weight, stronger immune system, just fighting off a disease and healing or whatever. When you get the right amount of rest, it's going to take it up tenfold. Check that out. I hope that helps you in this series, Our Imperfect Body, because we are imperfect. And so this is week 3, and we're going to dive into some more stuff. Keep tuned.